Shaved the beard. Look how much younger I look. Crazy. But so my dumbass made a faith in a Grand Matron bow, intending to have it for a mercenary. Little do I know they're a rogue, not an Amazon. So played myself. So now I respect my Amazon into a Bowazon. Unfortunately, the faith only got +1 to skills. But I was messing around. I was putting steel rings on, but they don't. I mean, I don't really care about the extra 100 damage. It's not really that big of a deal. So I actually put these on because I think the slowest target and the knockback's going to be really good for a bow. And then I just have a life leech ring with some dex on it. Wish it was a dual leech ring, honestly. I got a razor tail, Raven Frost, got some water walks for the extra dex and the faster run walk, some arrows. These ain't regular arrows though. No, I'm just playing. I got an Atma Scarab because I think this will be a pretty good build to try to proc amp damage with. Got my Fortitude on her, and then I got Amazon Helm with some faster run walk on it, since I'm using Fortitude and I'm not going to be teleporting. And I actually like this. I think I might actually have a lot more fun using this build than I was using the Bowazon, just because the way the Bowazon was is just, I hate the teleport frames for her. So I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun. Playing with this, and I guess I have mana leech, or I must have mana after kill. Oh, let me use my call to arms.
I am overburdened.
Here's my stats right over here, and then here's my skill tree. Nothing too crazy. I'm using strafe for my main ability, and then sometimes I'll hit him with multi-shot. It's really my first time actually playing as a Bowazon, so I think I'm gonna really put some time in playing like this. And I'm aware that there are better bows and everything like that, but I mean, I played Players 1 on BattleNet. Honestly wish that I knew everything about the bow bases and everything though, because then I could have made one that, you know, could have made one in a different type of bow and then used it on here and used it on a mercenary as well for my barb. But it's all good. I think up until the next patch comes out, I'm gonna have a lot of fun messing around with this. Because when the new patch comes out, I'm probably gonna respec, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like I'm gonna make a Bowazon that can also use javelins. So I think what I'm gonna actually wind up doing, this actually might wind up being a really crazy build at the end of the day. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have this, and then maybe on swap, instead of the CTA, or I'll keep the CTA in the cube or something, on swap I'll have a javelin. So I'll have some type of javelin, and it's not going to be, I'm probably not going to use Charge Strike, and I'm probably not going to use Lightning Fury either. I'm probably just going to use Fend. Probably going to use Fend and Jab. Depending on how they do the synergies and everything with this, I'll just max out Fend, and then I'll max out Strafe and Guided Arrow, or Strafe and Multi-Shot at least. I don't know how they're gonna change anything, like if they're gonna add synergies to any of the things, but if they do, then I'll have to make those decisions when that time comes. But ideally what I'll do is I'll have an Amazon who can handle things at a distance using the bow and arrow, and then when I get close I'll swap and I'll have a javelin, and I'll be using basically like a physical javelin skill, like either jab or fend. And then I'm gonna go with something like this. I'm probably gonna upgrade it, but this maiden javelin, so imagine matriarchal javelin of amplified damage, so it'll have a little bit more damage on the one hand side. And basically what I'll do is I'll use that in addition to the Atmos, and I'll basically just set my build up. I might switch the helmet out and other things so that I can basically switch to the jabs for like single targets and stuff like that, have them amp damaged up, and then just basically use Fend or something like that and take out the single targets really quick. Because Fend, supposedly they're going to make it unblockable. So if Fend is going to be unblockable, then it's going to be really good for certain types of enemies, like certain boss battles and stuff like that. So I think it's just going to be fun to have, you know, instead of throwing the javelins at long range, I'm going to use the bow at ranges, and then it would be nice if he could activate his Might Aura, but I don't know. Bowazons, I don't think they're really all that popular because they're not like the craziest, but I don't know. I don't really need much more than this for players 1 difficulty, honestly. And I honestly don't think Bowazons are that great on like higher than player. I don't know how really good they are in general. You don't really see a lot of people using them though. I know that. But I just wanted something completely different to use. You know, Man, I might not use the Hammerden in Chaos Sanctuary for a little while just because, man, I'm like certain repetitive things. Like I like magic finding, but I gotta switch up my gameplay style for a little while. Like I probably ran, no bullshit, over the past week close to 1,000 chaos runs, just like no life the hell out of it. So you know, I had to switch something up, but I think it'll be cool to have basically a build with the Amazon using a bow, and then on swap having javelins, almost like something that would be used for PvP or something, basically. But essentially having the unblockable Fend, I think that'll be really good. Like, it might be Uber's viable, you know? I don't know. Probably not, but I think there's a decent possibility that it will be viable in Uber's. It might just be really tedious. I don't know. We'll have to find out. I think, in terms of magic finding and things of that nature, I think my main goal for the upcoming however much amount... What is that? That shaking of the screen. For the unforeseen, or for the foreseen future, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try... What is that? Does he stomp and make the ground shake like that, or is that a glitch? I think what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna try to prepare, like, before the upcoming patch and everything. I'm gonna try to get my hands on everything that I need to basically make the most out of the new content that comes out, because that's always what I'm kind of into. I'm into, you know, trying new stuff out, having new experiences, new potential builds, you know, stuff like that. I don't like, of course I love using really powerful builds or farming and being efficient and stuff like that, but I feel like there's also a lot of room to experiment, and I think there's a good possibility as well that a lot of the ideas and notions that people had with certain builds and certain things also, you know, there's possibly, you know, builds and stuff, underlying builds that nobody knows about yet that are possible in D2R that weren't possible in the original version of the game. I might be wrong, but I mean, they proved that already with the assassin and the fury druid and stuff when it first came out, and then I think they dialed that back a little bit. But I think you know, if they found that, there's possibilities there's other things that people don't know about. There could be unintended effects that the developers, you know, based off the way that they did certain things in the game, could be changed. But yeah, it's a little bit bittersweet that I can't put this on a Merc, but it was just meant to be. Like, the Fortitude that I had made a couple weeks ago was just basically sitting around in my inventory. I wasn't really using it because I have the Chains of Honor on my Barbarian, and I guess it really was just meant to be, because I mean, it's not like I have an F Fortitude for a Merc or anything like that. And honestly, as far as like even like making the Infinity for my Sorceress, I don't really enjoy playing as a Sorceress that much, to be honest. Like, certain builds, even the Hammerden, I don't really enjoy playing as the Hammerden that much, personally. Not my favorite build to play as. I really enjoy, I guess, the Barbarian probably the most, probably Frenzy Barb or the Berserk Barb. And then that, probably the Necromancer and the Assassin. I'm actually starting to like this a good bit too. Like, this is, I feel like this is a fun build for just like, just running through the level, you know. I'm not playing to farm or to do any specific kind of runs. I'm just going around having fun shooting shit with the bow and arrow. But yeah, it's clearly not the most like efficient build or the most powerful build or anything like that. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's any anything you think I should change on this build, as far as maybe the gloves, or maybe put a different belt on them. I think I got the right belt on here, but probably something else that I could put on here too. There's probably just a lot of options. You know, there's always ways to improve something. Like, I could have had a better rolled Faith bow, but